everybody, welcome on my channel. My name is Marietta and I'm here to talk today about highly sensitive people and stress. And let's put stress into inverted commas because stress is man-made. It's not something that happens to us, it's our reaction to circumstances that create stress. So let's start off with that highly sensitive people are much easier aroused by prolonged stimuli. Arousal is different from anxiety or fear, although fear creates arousal, but so do many other emotions like too much fun, too much joy, too much curiosity, or even anger, or low levels of excitement. Arousal we also experience in any new situation. The newness of any situation makes highly sensitive people feel aroused, or we can use another synonym for that is overstimulated. The response to all these stresses is being aroused or overstimulated. The heart is pounding, people are sweating, trembling, foggy thinking, the muscles are tightening. There's often, in severe cases, dry skin, hair loss, losing weight, putting on weight. If overstimulation happens over a long time, we have severe fatigue of adrenals and a complete imbalance to the endocrine system, i.e. all the hormones. Other people think we are afraid, and although we know that we are overstimulated, we believe other people very often, because highly sensitive people often suffer from low self-esteem. In the end, they think that they are afraid, but actually it's anxious, being anxious and having a constant reaction to traumatic events that happened in the past or are then coming into their lives and they overreact to them. Everybody needs a certain amount of arousal, so not to be overwhelmed or bored. Everybody therefore needs certain challenges, like for instance in a regime of sport or reading a new book or speaking to a friend over a cup of coffee or changing jobs if your job is boring or overstimulating at all times. Sometimes it's just a cup of coffee that creates some fun here and creates some balance for the highly sensitive person. When highly sensitive people are overwhelmed, they need to rest. They need to reset their balance. They need to reset their bodies. They often shut down mentally. Definitely, meditation is a helpful technique here on a daily basis to help the mind to go into a balanced state, and that the body and the mind and the emotions do not go into reaction, in other words, flipping out or losing the plot in inverted commas, but that one can actually get back to balance to then rethink how to react with your values in mind. Often it's important, if somebody is overstimulated, to actually have really days where all devices are switched off, where one just goes for a walk and listens to nice music, where you go out for a meal with a friend, or you start reading a good book. As these overstimulations can be negated, can be reduced by what we do if we realize that we are a highly sensitive person. What is moderately arousing for a normal person is highly arousing for a highly sensitive person. Constantly being highly aroused leads to mental, emotional, or physical breakdown, and very often also ends up in severe panic attacks and constant anxieties. In other words, the whole body thinks and acts as if it's constantly in danger or survival mode. So to speak, after lockdown, then the lockdown has caused for many highly sensitive people a severe stage of overstimulation through the traumas that have been felt during lockdown and even load shedding, which we have here in South Africa, where we have no power sometimes for 7.5 hours. So all these stimulants, all these effects from outside circumstances need to be rebalanced by actually cutting off these overstimulants and by taking time out. In other words, nurturing oneself and really taking care of having me time. Often when highly sensitive people feel totally out of control, the adrenals also get completely depleted, cortisol levels rise to a max, and they're definitely not functioning at their best anymore. Often it leads to feeling hopeless, helpless, flipping out, sleeplessness, depression, and panic attacks and anxieties. When circumstances become too much, like for instance, lockdown, load shedding, severe problems at work, work loss, moves, even a marriage or a wedding can be one of the overstimulants or a traumatic event, because suddenly you have to fit into in-laws and you have to cope with all these people and regulations during lockdown which were changed overnight. Then also car accidents, illnesses, loss of a partner's job situation, fear of survival, and really having dangers and the circumstances around these people, like suddenly seeing immense lack, loss, starvation, really can be just too much trauma, and it causes loneliness because the highly sensitive person often withdraws completely, then on top of it suffering from social anxiety and wanting to withdraw into their own world. So when one comes to this point in your life where you know that life is actually more suffering than joy, and you feel numb to your situation, and you feel helpless and hopeless, and you cannot focus anymore because the whole body is not in balance and not strong, and the immune system is severely compromised, it might be time for you to do some real good research into medication, because it's scientifically proven that cognitive behavior therapies and medication bring the best results to people that are highly sensitive. So to then go and find something which helps you with your anxieties, panic attacks, depression, will actually reset your body back to normal so that you can regain your strength, your vitality, your balance, and your joy for life. I hope this has helped you today to actually have a good look at yourself and where you're at. And with this, I want to close this video off. If you want to get in touch with me, please go to mariettatiernison.com. I wish you all a wonderful weekend.